timed stream. I'm just going to be talking and answering customer questions as we go. So many of you got an email, and this email probably should not have been customer wide, but I wanted to make it customer wide just so that we knew that every customer who was affected would know. We uncovered what internally is being called a very complex scheme that was happening with a couple of individuals, first-time purchasers, connected to a customer who's actually been a customer for quite a long time. So I don't know how in depth we want to get into this because we've been told not to get in depth. We've been told to not talk about names. We've been told not to talk about certain attributes. But I will say this. Essentially, we have people who, and everyone knows Mystery MTG has expensive product. You can see on our website that we have Gaia's Cradles, we have Power 9, we have Reserve List, we have Christmas crates that have, at the very minimum, foil Vampiric Tutors and Reserve List cards. Yes, it is expensive product, and yes, you have to take into account that fraud is possible, and a lot of people will try to scam you for that product, okay? We know that. But when it gets into people using stolen credit cards and scheming with someone who is what we thought a long-term subscriber, we get into the point where it makes sense now as to why a lot of companies don't do this, as to why a lot of companies do not have crates that are filled with value, why a lot of companies will send out draft packs for premium products. Because if you have a product that is very minimum margin, I mean, the bare minimum to cover like handling, one mess up, one fraudulent order is a huge loss. You lose the product and you lose the money. A lot of customers are annoyed with us when we say, oh, we have to verify orders now because it seems like there's this big scheme, which we are verifying with police right now, is involving stolen credit cards, and people are attempting to take product from us. We have multiple employees, so from their livelihood, for a crate that is already value filled, right? And it makes sense. This is the best time to do it. It's Christmas. You might be able to get away with it. And then by the time you figure it out, you have the product already. Luckily, that isn't the case. No fraudulent order has been processed completely. One was processed, but we were able to catch it before the actual crate went out. So here's what I'm going to say. We did release that customer-wide email, and it's causing a lot of confusion. If your order wasn't canceled, that doesn't pertain to you, right? It's just letting you know what's going on behind the scenes, okay? If your order was directly canceled, that means that you were labeled a fraud risk by Shopify. I know, right? It hurts. It sometimes will offend you to be told that you're a fraud risk, but I'm sorry, those fraudulent risk tags don't get put on for no reason, right? There's a couple of reasons. I've outlined them in the email. CVV verification is one. Two, you may have committed chargebacks against other shops on Shopify and you were reported, and now you're under a risky subcategory for customers, right? Your email, your information is tagged with that. Your IP is tagged with that. So that's why you're labeled a risky order, right? And, there is the chance that it's a complete mistake on Shopify's end, but they've been very good about that. Anytime we process an order that has a fraud risk attached, we have like a 70% chance of actually having a chargeback, or this person is lying, saying they didn't get the product, and they did get it. And we already knew because there was that fraud risk sign that this was going to come, but sometimes we try to process it anyway, just in case it's a real person, because we don't want to, especially with a Christmas crate, we don't want to not deliver something if someone wants it, for their kid. But it's gotten to the point now where it's like, you can't, this isn't something you can deal with casually, right? At this point, if there's multiple people involved and if anyone, I will tell you right now, I treat a lot of our product, because a lot of it comes from inventory that I've been building for years. I treat it very personally. If you are coming at us and thinking, because we do this for the people, this is a passion project. This company is not a for-profit business. We reported a loss last year. I don't know if that's public, but you can probably search it up and find our business and see that, yeah, we did report a loss. We don't make money from this, okay? We already do not make money from this. So then you have individuals coming in and thinking that they can get away with, you know, looking at a small business. They don't do this with TCG Player and Card Kingdom or Star City Games. They do this with small businesses, small LGSs that they think can't fight back. Well, bad news for you. We absolutely will fight back. And every single case of fraud that we deal with, I will personally be attending to. Okay, that means, you know, we will find your actual identity. Okay, I know that a lot of you go out of your way to try to hide that, but we can detect VPNs too. This isn't, you know, you're ruining it for everyone else. Okay, and I know you guys think, hey, are these guys exaggerating? No, I mean, for the Christmas crate specifically, this is a crate that was marketed, so we had a lot of first-time customers. Our typical regular customers are, you know, normal guys. We've never had this issue, right? This has never been an issue, but a lot of bad actors have attempted to come in and are essentially making this a nightmare to deal with. And all we're trying to do is send out product. And now we don't know if when we're sending product out, if this person is actually who we think they are and if they deserve to be getting this product. So we've now had to enter into this stage where every single order, we have to literally look at the customer and say, is this a real person? We have to verify the identity. And I know it's annoying for people, right? I totally get it. But at the end of the day, what is the whole goal here? Is it, you know, okay, well, just let Mystery MTG go broke and bankrupt because I want my product. You know, I don't care that I have a fraud risk attached to my account. You know, so what do you guys want me to do? Okay, I'm sending out Force of Wills, I'm sending out Mana Crypts, I'm sending out Jeweled Lotuses, I'm sending out stuff that no other company in the space is sending out. And for good reason, because they're worried about this happening, right? Now, for me, it's a passion project, so I don't want to stop it at this point. I want to keep going. I want to, and you know, people say, why don't you guys have nice packaging? Why don't you guys do this and that and this and that? I mean, you know, wow. You know, like the expectations for a business that's already being attacked on 5 different fronts by fraudsters who have, you know, they've done this to everyone in the community, right? Everyone in Magic has dealt with people scamming them. You know, it's the most vile, the sickest people ever, okay? They don't care. They literally don't care that the people they're affecting, you know, the people that we hire to do things might not get paid because the business might. I will say this, and this should really help you understand the scope of this, okay? If we process those orders, if we processed those fraudulent orders that we talked about last night, we would have gone bankrupt, okay? The business would have been done because you're talking about, you know, around $5,000 to $10,000 worth of orders, and they're also trying to buy a sealed product from our site that they don't intend on actually paying for because it's stolen cards. When they do that, we're not just losing the product. We are actually losing the money behind that product. That's a double whammy. And even though I'm willing to take it as far as possible, I'm willing to take people to court. Of course I'm willing to take you to court. If you're trying to steal Gaia's cradles, of course I'm willing to take you to court. People take people to court for way less than that. But that's also saying, okay, you know, the guy who's running the business and is on, you know, heading everything has to leave the business and go deal with the legal stuff. And I'm not able to work on crates. So, you know, I mean, what a nightmare to deal with where it's like a group, probably a play group, to be honest, of, you know what it was probably? I'm going to be honest. It was probably a play group of really shitty people that said, look at this crate. This looks awesome. What if we get a bunch of these? I don't want to mention specifically how they're doing it because I don't want anyone to replicate it, but there's a way that they're attempting to do this, which actually does work if we ship the product out. It does work because we've been screwed by this before and it takes a long time for us to fix. So they're like, what if we do this? And everyone's like, oh, we could get, you know, foil demonic tutors and foil vampiric tutors and jeweled lotuses and reserve list cards. Yeah, why not? You know, dual lands. So they, you know, hatch this plan and they're thinking, oh, Mystery MTG probably can handle this. I mean, they don't even care what happens to the company. They just want the product. So they go for it, right? Now, for me, I have no mercy about this. I would love for all of these people to go to jail. I would love to sue them, and we will take it as far as possible. So that's what's happening on the back end of this. I will not allow for the people who have ruined Magic the Gathering already. These are the same toxic people that are on the bottom of every YouTube video. These are the same toxic people that ruin it for small sellers by getting their singles in and lying about it. These are the same people that are doing all of that. They just want all the value for themselves and they don't want to pay for anything. They ruin everything for everyone, right? I mean, the only people not getting screwed is them. And that's very selfish, but that's who those people are. So if anyone's going to take action against these people, I volunteer myself and I volunteer at Mystery MTG to take it as far as we can. One of the most frustrating things ever. But I would like to say that that email that was sent out to everyone. So if that was sent out to you and you did not get a canceled order confirmation from Shopify, then you're fine. I know it was maybe a little confusing for people, but you're totally fine as long as you did not get a canceled order confirmation. If you did get a canceled order confirmation, that means that you were tagged as a fraud risk. Just reach out to us. It's actually very simple. Reach out to us. Show us that you have a real Facebook page with your name, with your actual work information and everything attached, and we verify that you're a real person. Okay, we'll send you product, because in that case, if you attempt to do fraud or something, we know who you are, right? But if we don't know who someone is and they have a fraud risk, of course we're canceling your order. Some guy the other day wrote a negative review under the Christmas crate because he was like, they canceled my order without, notifying me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we're in the middle of potentially someone attempting to bankrupt the business. I don't think you guys understand how bad this is. This is not just them attempting to ruin us and take our product and take our money. They are attempting actual fraud. And depending on, where these stolen cards are from, this is a felony on their part. These are criminals. These are actual criminals. So we're dealing with actual criminals here. And it's not one of those things that you can take lightly. Now, should I have seen this coming? When you release a crate and YouTubers are making videos about it, and you let people know that it's going to be a very spicy crate and that it's super filled with value and everything. Yes, I guess we did attract the wrong kind of people to the product. Okay, we attracted the wrong kind of people to the company. I'll accept that. We don't need to market, and this time I thought it would be really fun to do that for the Christmas crate and get some people who haven't tried the themed crates out to try it a single time. I will say we're probably never going to do that again. I think our current community, the one that we've had, has been very good about this. We've really ran into so few issues. We've never had anyone say that they've got fake product. We've never had anyone say that they've gotten tampered with product. We've never had anyone in the past months before this ever do a chargeback. We haven't had returns. Everyone's been fairly happy. I think occasionally we'll have someone who says, I don't think the value was there, which is fine. We're an RNG themed crate service. If it was our fault, we fix it. And that's the way it's been. It's been so stress-free. But when it comes to this Christmas crate, guys, holy crap. Holy crap. I've never thought that I would see such a orchestrated attempt at just straight up scamming people. It's impressive in the fact that they would go this far with fake identities, with stolen credit cards, and so I shouldn't even say as much as I am saying, but the way they're doing this is kind of genius because you cannot fight it. There is no, once the product is shipped, once they have the product, even if you try to go to the bank, even if you try to go to PayPal, even if you do whatever you can, there is no getting that product back, nor are you going to get the money back. There's a very little chance, even with PayPal's seller protection. In this case, we've experienced this before. They will not side with you for a specific thing. We're not going to get into detail. There might be that one terrible person listening to this, and I hope not, but there might be. We caught it. The product was not shipped out, and that I'm very grateful for that. That would have been the end of Mystery MTG right then and there before we were able to get everything else set up and do all the fun stuff we wanted to do. That would have been it. You know, I don't know how much product we would have lost from that, but enough to where we would not have been able to do, you know, pretty much anything else. We would have been done, pretty much done. Sergio, not to mention the level of prison time they'd get, since fraud is an instant 10 years prison time, especially depending on the state. Yeah, no, Sergio, these people, in my opinion, need to go to jail for 10 years, right? Because think about it this way: if they're doing this to us, how many other people are they doing this to? How many other businesses are they attempting to do this to? If it's like a big corporation like Amazon, even then, it's such a shitty thing to do. But the fact that they're doing this to small LGSs, they're doing this to Mystery MTG, and you know, God knows whoever else, and they're probably getting away with it because, to be totally honest with you, the way we catch this is we look into the orders, we look into who's ordering, and sometimes we will actually search identities up on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, whatever. We just make sure that this person is real. And you will hit those occasions where really weird names pop up with weird numbers and the address just doesn't make sense. And you're thinking, okay, well, let me look into this a bit deeper. And then you get down a rabbit hole, and I'll stop it there before we get into too much information. It super sucks. You guys have dealt with this. If legal actions are insufficient, I propose we place their heads on pikes and parade them around the city, then see who wants to try scamming next year. You know, guys, I will say this. You know, a lot of people, you know, love our service, which is awesome. Some people think that we could even try to make things spicier, but look, consider any profit at this point just fraud protection, okay? Because once fraud happens, especially with our crate, we don't make any money off this. So when you're buying a Christmas crate for 130, maybe 140 plus shipping, right? And we ship it out, and then it gets lost in the mail, or you do a chargeback, or someone does something, right? We lose all that money. Plus, if there was a Jeweled Lotus extended art foil in there, we've just lost that product too. So, I mean, talk about the double whammy that you do not want to see as a business owner. We appreciate that, Sergio. I appreciate that support. It has been a piece of shit time to deal with. You know, I'm literally packing these crates and I'm throwing in Force of Wills and Jeweled Lotuses, and I'm looking at this saying, I wish I could get this as a customer again. You know, I wish I could have this experience as a customer. And then we still have people just, you know, really ruining it for everyone, because now it doesn't make sense for us to make it this spicy if, you know, half of our Jeweled Lotuses are attempted to get stolen, you know? Like, at that point, just sell the Jeweled Lotuses instead of throwing them into crates for fun, you know? So as far as like an identification process, even social, well, Nick, the thing is, as long as someone's been subscribed for a long time, we trust them with reason, right? I know customers, you know, like Nick Artanovich. I've known him for so long. I've seen his name for so long that, you know, Nick, to be honest, you had a fraud risk one time attached to your account. I think because you moved addresses or something, possibly. I instantly, you know, I know your name, and I'm like, that's not correct, right? So because of that name recognition, I'm able to say that's not the case with this person, right? So that's one example of where subscribers that have been with us for a while, it's like, if you've been with us for 11 months, why would you decide to start scamming us on the 12th month? That doesn't make any sense. So, you know, for subscribers who've been with us for a while, it's not really a big issue, but with first-time supporters, it is an issue. They target small businesses because many times a small business doesn't have security to catch it, or if they do catch it, they may not have the funds to pursue it legally. John, you are 1000% correct. What they do not know, and I will let you guys in on a secret, is that I have done well for myself in life. And Mystery MTG, I talked to a couple of guys who are opening up an LGS, and, you know, for them, it's a livelihood, right? They make money off of it. And I let them know that, you know, because they thought about doing crates, and I was like, well, you have to be prepared to lose money. And they were like, well, what's the end goal? And I was like, esports. It's, you know, esports, it's a shop, it's the fun community. And they're like, well, you know, what about taking home money? And I'm like, I've already done that in my career, right? This is the passion project. This is what I want to retire off of. This is the thing that I want to grow old with and say Mystery MTG was my baby. And My community has been with me for years. That's what you want as a business owner. And that's the whole purpose of it, right? So, and that's why they target us. They target small businesses because they think that we're not able to pursue it, but they're messing with the wrong guy. I have all the money to pursue it with, and I could sell, a Black Lotus, and we'd fund a lawsuit. So we have 4 Black Lotuses. Okay. Anyone ever tries to do fraud for Black Lotus, I am on your ass 100%. Also, it's very hard to do that because we literally vet you as a person before we sell anything that's that high value. Like seriously, like, in the future, it might be a thing where a video call has to take place. I mean, there has to be verbal contracts that are recorded, because if I'm going to send you a $51,000 Black Lotus, I'm not doing it through USPS first class mail. Okay, we're doing it as a big transaction. People are vetted. We on our end, we have to have a money back guarantee on everything, condition on authenticity. Everything is money backed because it's an expensive purchase, right? But on the same end, the buyer has to guarantee that they are legitimate as well. So we go out of our way to say we guarantee authenticity, we guarantee condition, especially for this expensive stuff. And what you need to guarantee as a buyer is that you have the appropriate amount of funds for this, that you are who you say you are, and that, at the bare minimum, you're actually trying to be a customer. I've only discovered you guys around November, so I'm definitely new to your guys' product processing, but see such a good thing go sour due to shitty people. Well, I will say it's not gone sour. This is one of those seasonal things where the Christmas crate brings out a couple of unsavory figures. And a lot of people will get weeded out. A lot of people who maybe should not be our customers, who should not be a fan of our service, will get weeded out. And I'm 1,000,000% fine with that, okay? I'll be honest with you. Mystery MTG is not for the average Joe. Mystery MTG is for the people who enjoy the chase. It's for the people who enjoy expensive product. It's for people who enjoy a different experience than what you'd get at a normal or orthodox LGS. If you want to go in somewhere, and that example isn't even good because we do have 9-pack standard draft packs cheaper than anyone else, literally anyone else on our site that people can subscribe to. So we have that for people who kind of just want normal openings. But if you're just looking for a boring normal LGS, we're not the place, okay? And you're not going to be paying $20 and getting a $20 Chandra thing. You're going to be paying, $40 and you're going to get a ticket to a D&D style event where we're doing roles and you're a character in the story and you're fighting dragons. And if you win the role, you're going to get a pack of Stronghold, or you're going to get a pack of 9th edition or something like that's, that's Mystery MTG. Mystery MTG is not the other thing, right? So we're a very, very, a very unique, weird company. Okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. And there are people who are not meant for that. When Bad Boy Gaming makes a video and I look at the comments, and there are just certain people who I'm like, yeah, that person should not be a customer of ours because their ideas do not align with ours. Mystery MTG is not for profit. I don't think we'll ever make a profit. And I know, guaranteed, that now that we have the physical store space open, and we'll be hosting esports competitions with prize support, there actually is a chance it becomes profitable with that at a certain volume. But in the beginning, if you're attempting to do like $10,000 first place prizes, you're putting yourself in a hole, right? But you're doing that to establish yourself as a credible and a very enticing business to be with. Unfortunately, when you do that, you will attract people who are, like I said, unsavory. So only the best luxury cardboard. Exactly, Cody. That is what I am into. Very luxury cardboard. And you know what? I'm emotionally attached to my luxury cardboard, so I will fight until the end of times to make sure that a couple of things are true. And I'll end it on this note. Mystery MTG will always have quality assurance runs. We will always check the quality, the condition, and make sure that we're proud of what we send out. We do things sometimes like we'll reuse top loaders. So sometimes the top loaders will be a little bit dirty. And I find that to be perfectly fine because it's better for the environment, right? I consider that to be pretty important for myself. But when it comes to the actual cards, when it comes to the sealed product, like only in my grave will I ever accept anyone ever getting a resealed pack under my, that would be me failing as a person. Is it possible? Potentially. Who knows? I mean, cracks happen everywhere, right? Is it likely? No, not at all. And I will make sure that it is, 0.001% chance possible. Just because if you only get products from distributors and from the biggest LGSs in North America, you're minimizing your chance at ever seeing tampered with product to a very small amount, or fake singles to a very small amount. And then beyond that, if a lot of the stuff you're doing, you're sending out secret layers and stuff like that's literally straight from WotC. So we try to minimize any interaction with the secondary market to make sure we get away from any potential for that stuff. So that's a big one. Making sure that our quality will always be up there. Mystery MTG will never be good at shipping. I'll be honest with you. If we have a big operation, I will likely even add more quality assurance control. I will likely add more stuff in place to make it take longer because we don't want to send anything out that it takes one Reddit post, okay? Like I want people to know that Mystery MTG has survived this far after our other competitors have all failed. Okay, even Channel Fireball released a crate and it had one of the worst receptions ever because people could see that this was a scam, that this was just a straight scam. Mystery MTG is still here because we haven't had a single Reddit post or a YouTube video saying this is the shittiest service ever. What the hell did they send me? No one's ever said that, okay? We've had, certain times where we'll send something out to a YouTuber and it's randomized and we have no influence in the selection of the product. And they say, I didn't really get something that was super spicy. I didn't win the RNG role here, which is totally fine. It's the point of the business. But what I'm trying to say is this. We will always try to be creme de la creme, and that will be the mission. And there will always be people, like some of the individuals attempting to ruin the business yesterday, that we need to watch out for. So, yes, we are still dealing with the situation. Yes, orders are still going out. And yes, if you have not received formal cancellation from us on your email from Shopify, your order is still good to go, okay? Still good to go. You're fine, right? We're packing tonight. I'm just sorting some inventory right now. We'll have another 120 orders out by tomorrow, okay? I have to be even extra slow about it because anytime I go through an order, I have to look at the name. I have to make sure I know the name. If I don't know the name, I have to look it up online and make sure that this is an actual person. If it's not an actual person and I can't prove they're an actual person, I actually have to contact the individual by email. If they don't respond, the order is canceled. That's the way it's going right now. So make sure that Mystery MTG is whitelisted on your email. Make sure you get our emails. Ordered 3 days ago, waiting very patiently, absolutely recording it. Cody, I'm very happy to hear that. I love when people record our openings or take pictures of it. Not that many people do that, which is kind of sad. They'll send me emails saying, I love what I got, or they'll send me Discord messages, and I always want to just say, write a review, make a YouTube video. No one's made a YouTube video yet, which is kind of sad. We take pride in a lot of these crates. We had a couple of people who were unhappy with getting Memory Jar, which is a reserve list card, or Copy Artifact, another reserve list card, because they're looking at the damage prices on TCG Player from unverified sellers as a base point. Guys, if we're sending you something and it's near mint, or if it's lightly played, compare it to the lightly played listings from verified sellers. It's not coming from a seller in his basement, okay? All right? You can't. It's also not damaged, all right? If the card was damaged, contact me, show me it's damaged, and of course, within a minute, we'd get you refunded or exchange it with better product. And that's it. But every single time it's been like, hey, I got this card. It's worth $35 on TCG Player. I look at it. The only verified listing is $70. And I'm like, where did you get the $35? And they say, well, look at this listing. And it's like a damaged version of the card. Damage does not equal lightly played or near mint. All right. I hate to have to irk on that, but that's true. I'm not going to do a trade with someone and say, hey, I value your card as damaged. And they say, but my card's near mint. And I said, well, I value it as damage. That's not how that works, right? Factually, it's wrong. It's going on my smaller YouTube channel, MTG Portal. Nice. It's a little shout out for Cody. If you guys want to go check out some MTG content, MTG Portal, search it up on YouTube. What's wrong with those people? Love a copy artifact. Daniel, copy artifact, people don't remember this. That thing was skyrocketing in price last year. Literally was bought out. And now there's a little bit of supply on the market, and it's dropped a little bit in price, but it's still like $88 TCG mid. The problem is the market price for it, isn't really updated because it takes into account the damaged product and stuff like non-verified sellers that are listed, I believe. So, whatever price is the market price is, I don't take weight into that as much. I've always kind of dealt with the TCG mid, but some people only listen to market price, so that's them, right? Copy artifact is a great card, though. I value it as damaged. John, not with me, you don't. Because I look at these singles. Now, there are certain singles that we send out that are, if it's from Abu, right, Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, you're going to expect moderately played, right? I mean, you're getting something from Alpha. If you get anything from Alpha, you're happy. It's a rare card. It'll never, even if they print it a million times, the Alpha version of this card will be the most expensive. If not the most expensive, the best one to have, in my opinion. It'll retain its value no matter what. So whenever we send out Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, even, just older cards in general, I'll be a little bit more lax because I'd rather people have those old cards, reserve list cards. Those are just better, in my opinion, than a near mint Demonic Tutor. I know that just might be my opinion, but I feel like that is, if something's reserve list, it's not being reprinted. You know what I mean? And Mark Rosewater has commented on that. So you're guaranteed, even if the price falls a little bit, it's not going to get that huge hit that might happen if something is printed as a secret layer. Elish Norn, Foil, and Phyrexian Script. I never thought that'd be $20, and it is $20. So the Jeweled Lotus would be perfect for a few commander decks. Nick, a lot of people have actually been pulling those Jeweled Lotuses. It's 1 in every 3, so it should actually be the most common single to get. We've also seen a lot of the Force of Negations in retro frame. A lot of people will see that. A lot of Force of Wills, Vampiric Tutor and Foil, and Demonic Tutor and Foil. Believe it or not, Demonic Tutor and Foil, the Ultimate Masters version, is like $80. Demonic Tutor and Foil Ultimate Masters is very expensive. It's not a cheap card. And a lot of people are getting those, and I hope to God that they realize it's foil. Please do not write a review and be like, I got a Demonic Tutor. No. You got the foil version, okay? The regular version is $35 or $34. The foil version is $80, okay? There's a difference. Please make sure you realize it's foil. If you don't, I'll be a sad panda, because if you trade it to someone and you don't tell them it's a foil and they get a foil and you trade it for like a Ristic Study or something, I would feel really sad for you. A Force of Will and a Vampiric Tutor. Nick, if you want a Vampiric Tutor, you are going to be very happy. That's like the least valuable single we send out is a foil Vampiric Tutor. That is literally the baseline for a bunch of these orders, is that Vampiric Tutor. It's, for some reason, we have 1 million Vampiric Tutors in stock. Foil, all foil. A lot of extended art foils as well. Don't ask me why we have so many. I don't know. We just have a ton. We also have a ton of Scalding Tarns. We had a ton of Jeweled Lotuses up until this product release, and now they're pretty much all packed, minus a few extended art foils. No, it's like most of our supply pretty much has gone into this crate. Our entire supply of Legions and Scourge and half of the supply of Onslaught has been shipped. So we're sourcing more of those packs now. OG Ravnica is also being sourced. So a lot of very spicy product, and I'm going to war with these fraudsters, with these scammers that are attempting to steal this product, take them to every corner on the earth to make sure that they cannot get my product. Not a single one has got it so far, but I can guarantee you that we will deal with that weekly at this point, and it will slow things down. It'll make it hard for us to ship stuff out. Unfortunately, that is the case. It sucks. In every way, it sucks. But people are going to do what they try to do, And what can I do but make sure that these people are actually verified and that they're real people? And I've always asked people, and this is the way this is what confuses me. very few companies ask you to film your opening, right? Almost none. None of them send stuff in there in the product saying, if you film this opening, we'll give you credit. We're like one of the few companies that's like, we want to see exactly what you pull, right? If what you pull is bad, we will revisit our randomization, we will revisit our set list, and we will, make tweaks. Like, why was that even possible? We need to change that. If you get something extremely spicy, we want to be there to experience it with you. That's the whole point of it. That's the entire basis of the company existing, is I want to see what you're pulling, because I love opening packs too. Now, I will say, I've opened complete trash recently, okay? I've literally opened so many packs of amazing sets, obviously being the owner and founder of a business focused on cracking Magic. I open a lot of Magic, and I've been pulling dog crap levels of just endless. I mean, opening Ultimate Masters and Eternal Masters, it's just terrible. It's nasty. I get nothing good. So at this point, I'm like, okay, it's just not my time anymore. But please, because people used to literally call me Lotus Hands. Kenny, who's a customer of ours, used to literally call me Lotus Hands. I'd open so much spice. These days, it's what's a good email? Or info@mysterymtg.com. Cody will always be our email for any sort of communication, honestly. So yeah, I've been pulling duds, but I want to see what you guys pull. And that's what this whole fraud thing just pisses me off. It's like, because I know the crates that these people were going to get were, value filled. They were packed to the roof with spice. And even in that case, they're still going to attempt, and they know it because they're using stolen credit cards. There's no way that I end up getting that money, right? There's no way. Whoever's identity was stolen is going to get that money refunded. That's the whole point. It's, there is no way for the seller to win in this situation at all, even with seller protection from PayPal. There's just no way. And the way they're doing it, like I said, we're not going to dive into details. A lot of you probably know already, right? This is not a secret that people do this. There's a way they do that. They do it. And besides just using stolen credit cards, the way they get PayPal to not honor their seller protection, there's a glaring crack hole in that people can get through. So it sucks, and we are attempting to make sure that that isn't abused anymore. But the spice chase is indeed real. Cracked impacts. I love cracking packs, but I need to stop because I pool. Everyone else, by the way, did you see the pictures of what people have been pooling on our page? They've been pooling crazy spice, right? I'm just shocked. I've literally opened so many packs recently, and they've just been so bad. I mean, nonstop. And I'm like, not even a single good spicy pool. Not a single one. I'm talking about like anything. Give me a card over $10. Nope. It's like rares worth less than $1. Basically bulk rares. And then every single time in the foil slot, it's a common foil. It's almost like it doesn't even seem real to me anymore. Like WotC says you can get a rare or mythic in the foil slot. I can't remember the last time I've ever seen that. Even in Ultimate Masters, in Modern Horizons 2, it's different. I've definitely seen it in Modern Horizons 2, but I think the only good pull I've ever gotten from an Ultimate Masters pack, no, it was from a double Masters pack actually, was the Force of Will foil. Was insane. I was very happy at that, but yeah, besides that, I just never have gotten good pulls at all. That's why when customers are like, oh, I didn't get any good pulls, I'm like, yeah, join the party, okay? Join the party. None of us get good pulls. We live to chase for that one insane pool, that pool that trumps all other pools. When you get a pool of something that's, a misprint, a foil misprint of a very rare card, that's what you're aiming for. Force of Will, I faint. Daniel, I went crazy. When I got that, and the funny thing is I spent way more money. And this is what people don't understand. Okay. We're going to have an honest conversation about things right now. Let's talk about the biggest issue, which is when we send you something and we give you a masterpiece, and then we also give you packs of other sets, right? For Commander's Fury Crate or something. Keep in mind that if you want to buy one box of Kaladesh, it's $400. We're taking out that whole process of you hunting for this. By the way, it's not even going to be a good masterpiece when you hit it. I've hit masterpieces in Kaladesh, and every single time it's like a $40 masterpiece. Okay, so we're sending you a masterpiece worth 80 to 100 to 150, right? And then we're giving you 3 packs to enjoy the cracking experience with. So you get the best of both worlds, and you might even pull something really nice. That's why I feel like art crates, like as a customer, I would just die for it. I mean, and that's the whole reason I do this, because I'm like, what would I enjoy as a customer? Now, I will say our set list has not really updated recently, and I need to work on that, get some of the new collector packs up there and everything. But a lot of people are kind of falling off of collector packs. Seems like people don't like them anymore, to be honest. Kind of seems like people are just not a big fan of collector packs anymore. The prices on almost all of them have been falling, which is very shocking to me. I didn't think I'd see the day, but it's been the case. As prices have been falling for a lot of that stuff. Anyway, I know I get on a rant whenever we do this, right? Every time we make a video or we go live, I will talk for like 45 minutes. But TLDR, we are actively pursuing these people who are trying to ruin the Christmas Crate experience. If you're just tuned in, we talked about it earlier. These are pieces of shit. They are likely doing this to multiple small businesses. My opinion is that it is likely a play group. I've been advised to not talk too much because it is a legal thing, right? This is a criminal, this is a felony, right? This is a felony. They're using stolen credit cards. Like I said, though, should probably not even be saying that, but we're dealing with it. And we will continue packing. Another 120 crates go out tomorrow. Is there the chance that I've missed a couple of bad actors and some of those crates go out and some people will get them and try to charge back? Yeah, there is a chance, and I want everyone to know that if you are a good customer and you've been with us and you've, cracked some spice, you've cracked some packs, and that's all you do, you're not making things complicated, you're not trying to do chargebacks and everything. We love you, we appreciate you, you are such a good person, and you're the kind of guy, as soon as you come to our LGS, you want to crack a beer and hang out and talk to me, I will always talk to you. Okay, we're buddies, we're pals. If you're the kind of person who is already waiting for the Christmas crate so that you can get it and then do a chargeback or do even the shittier things than that, you are the kind of asshole that I will take to court, and I will take you gladly to court, and I will attend in person. I will literally buy a plane ticket. I don't care how many people we have to take it to court to get rid of the couple bad actors that exist. And I will say, it's a couple, okay? We've had 10,000. Think about this. 10,000 orders online. And we've had less than I can count on 2 hands when it comes to fraudulent people. I'm not going to say orders because one person can do many, but less than what I can count on 2 hands in terms of bad people. And we've had 10,000 orders. So by no means is this a plague issue that 20 to 50 to 100 people are actively trying to scam us. But it just takes 3 to 5. It takes 3 to 5 to bring down a business. I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, if we didn't catch those orders and it was high alert time, everyone was scrambling, like, what the hell is going on? This guy seems to have the exact same order notes as this guy. They're both first-time customers, both have very weird names. Let's check their emails. Let's see if we find any trace of them being an actual person. And most of you, by the way, we can track and say they have a Facebook account, they have an Instagram account, they are on these forums or something. These are real people. And then we see these orders and it's like, oh, this is not a real person. But they're attached to these people, and then it's attached to someone who is a real person. And it becomes this whole scheme. And you're like, oh, shit, I've just stumbled upon, this huge fraudulent thing. It's like a little castle of cards. Now, luckily, I kicked that fucking castle down, and I said, you're not taking any fucking product from us, okay? We've literally always been for the people. Always been for the people. There's been so many instances, and I think the only thing we continue to do wrong is probably the way we handle shipping costs. I think is something we're working on, and hopefully we get that fixed soon, because I do think our shipping costs are too high. But the reason it's high is because when we have one crate that's super big sent out and we have to pay 70 something dollars for that shipping, especially if someone international wins something big, we have to have it average out to where we're at least even with shipping. So that typically means that, someone who doesn't, because we just don't know what you're going to win at the time of checkout. So what you pay at checkout is what we're going to have to abide by no matter what the cost of the crate is when it's time for us to send it out, which is the issue, right? I mean, that's why it has to be a little bit higher. Anyway, that's a little tangent. God, I just distracted myself from my point. We've always been for the people, okay? I've had so many chances to say, let's take this out. Let's take this out. Let's not put in a dual end. That'll ruin the profit margins. We can do this. We can do that. We've had so many chances to say, let's be shitty about this. Let's do what everyone else does. Let's throw in playmats. We can get playmats for $4 from our distributor, right? Oh, let's get playmats and card sleeves. The only thing that's not discounted, the only thing that's still expensive, even from distributors, is product, sealed product and singles, which is the only stuff we send out. We're not talking about throwing in high profit margin items. Even if we send you, let's say I charged you $15 and I sent you one Return to Ravnica, one Gatecrash, one Commander Legends. You still got sealed product, right? You can still trade that. You can crack it and pull a really good card. It might have been worth less than you paid, but you still have the chance to walk out with profit. If I send you for $15 a little thing of sleeves or a playmat, you cannot resell that. Most of them, you can't resell that for what you paid. You've just lost money. And you get something that, it's not collectible. Most of it isn't collectible unless it's signed or something. Our playmats are collectible because they're signed by the artist. The Force of Will and Kali of the Vast playmats are actually signed by Scott Fisher. So those are really cool and those are collectible. But I'm talking about the non-collectible versions of this. Whereas MTG sealed product goes up in price. It appreciates, it depreciates, but it at least has volatility to it. AO scammers, I hope every tournament you go to, you play against tribal counterspell or tribal goblins. I hope, if you're a scammer and you're listening to this, I hope that your lands are destroyed in every single EDH game you pop into. All right, no matter how nice you're acting, I hope there's going to be that one douchebag at the table. And I hate land destruction. I really do. I love you as a person if you play it. I hate you as an MTG player. I hope that one douchebag looks at you and is like, I'm going to destroy that guy's lands. And I hope you never get to tap a land ever again. That is the biggest insult I can ever give. And I'm giving that to anyone who's scamming people during Christmas, okay? So anyway, like I was saying, it's not us trying to be on some high horse. Oh, Daniel, our physical location is in Dallas. It's in Richardson, Texas. Mystery Cards and Games. So I'm not trying to be on a high horse and say that, we're the best, we're better than everyone else. But I will say this. We have time and time again been able to increase prices. We've time and time again been able to take away some of the spice from some products. We've been able to not do shit like send out real solid gold, which is what we're actually doing. We've had so many opportunities to not send out 9th edition, 4th edition, Tempest, Darksteel, everything, Worldway. I mean, you name it, we send it out, right? We've had every chance not to do that. A lot of people are okay with just getting Ultimate Masters and Double Masters, and we don't have to source older product, but we do because that's spicier. It's a unique experience, and it's easier to get discounts on newer product like Double Masters, right? Even though that is skyrocketing in price, I will say. So we don't do that. We've always been really strict about saying it's RNG. Some people will get less than they paid. That's the truth. But what they get should still be very playable, and it should still be unique. It should still give them a taste of spice. It should still give them the opportunity to crack open spice, right? Oh yeah, what's with solid gold? John, a lot of people ask me that question. I've gotten messages on Discord, okay? I am a weird individual, okay? I think, in my opinion, no other company has ever put their money where their mouth is and said, we will send out an asset that almost never goes down in price, right? Something that is better for you as a business to keep an inventory. And gold is one of those things. Gold is highly collectible. It's something that you could literally show your wife and say, wife, whatever her name is, Sandra or whatever. Sandra, Mystery MTG just sent me solid gold. And she's going to be like, what? And you're going to say, yeah, they sent me solid gold. And she's going to be like, I'm sorry for telling you every time to not spend money on packs, right? It's just one of those crazy things. It's also, we're doing 2 grams of solid gold, literally 24 karat, 99.9% solid gold, verified. It'll be in its original packaging, which is comes from Assad or whoever actually cast the gold, I guess. It's 2 grams of solid gold per 200 orders. Okay, so that's about $150 worth of gold thrown into one out of every 200 orders. So it's essentially like hitting a masterpiece, right? I just think it's going to be fucking insane the day that someone's filming a YouTube video, they're cracking open a Magic or a Mystery MTG 9-pack premium or 6-pack premium or 3-pack premium, and they open literally solid gold in their order. How freaking insane. I mean, like, what? You know what I mean? Can you shed some insight on 10K vintage crate UP? Cody, it's the craziest, spiciest thing ever. $9,000 guaranteed minimum value. You will get, graded cards that we've never had anything else that we could ship out with, right? Sealed cases of product, right? It's an insane product. I mean, if someone actually films themselves opening it, we've had 1 or 2 purchased already. No one's actually filmed it. No YouTubers purchased it. If someone actually filmed it, I would freaking love that video. You could just get a Black Lotus, right? You could literally just get a Black Lotus. I mean, we have 4. And that's, if we're going to be randomizing it, we have to, figure out when we do the vetting for the person, what do they want to see? What do they not want to see? If you're spending $10,000, you're not getting something you don't want to see. You're not getting like Dackard was sending out PSA 7 stuff of very unplayable cards. What the hell are you doing sending that in a crate worth $10,000? Are you kidding me? That's just bullshit. That's just straight bullshit. No, if you order a $10,000 crate, you're getting Judge Promo Gaia's Cradles. You're getting rare signed cards. You're getting original MTG art from the artist with a authenticity guarantee attached to it. At the very minimum, you're getting 9,000, and the maximum is probably 15, 16. If you get the Black Lotus, you're probably at it'd probably be unlimited, right? And it'd probably, who knows what the grade would be, or if it is graded, because we do have graded and ungraded Black Lotuses, and I don't think we'd ever really sell our graded Black Lotuses, because that, to me, that's not even something I'd want to risk, even if I vetted someone. Unless it was like an in-person thing. Ungraded Black Lotuses for sure, I guess. If it's moderately played, that's something we could throw in, and it will be in the randomizer. I would really be unhappy sending it out, but that would make for an epic YouTube video. So, like I said, we've only had, I'd have to check with our inventory manager. I think we've had 1 purchased, and we have had no real content creation involving any of our more expensive stuff yet, which kind of sucks. Even a Christmas crate, we haven't really had a YouTube video published about it, except for Bad Boy Gaming. So I would be very happy if someone did that. It's going to be guaranteed badass. Guaranteed badass. That's one of those crates where you look at it and you're like, would I be mad spending $10,000 and getting this? And if the answer is yes, then repack it, right? You're not going to send something out if it's not spicy as hell. So, yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you hope us luck, or I hope you wish us well when it comes to dealing with this whole crazy debacle that we're going through right now. And I hope you guys have a good night. I have to go pack more orders. A lot of orders need to be going out, so I'm going to have to call it. To start sorting inventory for some of the newer orders coming in, and then we're just going to, try to get as much as we can out by tomorrow and next tomorrow. Is having a beer or more with Alan on the randomizer list? Nick, if you ever come to Dallas, Richardson specifically, We will have a mini fridge filled with beer, specifically for those moments where, people we know come in, crack a beer, talk life, talk, business. How did you like our service? What did you hate? What did you enjoy? And, like getting to know the people that we've seen for so long, the names that we've known for so long. That's a really important part of it, in my opinion. Anyway, we're going to call it here, boys. I hope you guys have an amazing night. I have so much to do, so many people to communicate with, so much packing to do, so much inventory to do, quality assurance, making sure that stuff is actually in good condition. And we have someone coming over to help with that. And we're going to be doing that until 4 or 5 a.m. before we call it quits. So as the sun rises and orders are sent out to be shipped, I will finally get a lick of sleep. Oh, these Christmas crates. Just a big headache in a crate.